In your most recent earnings release, you talked a great deal about expansion in the LNG sector, in the shuttle tanker sector. Tell us a little bit about what's on the horizon for Tsakos.
Well, I mean, we look at those sectors in the energy spectrum where we can maximize returns. And right now, conventional tankers are going through a correction, but we have the LNG sector which is booming, and also you have the offshore sector where you have tremendous opportunities coming out of countries like Brazil. We have entered with 2 shuttle tankers last year for 15 years contracts, and we think there is more business coming out of from Brazil. And therefore we are going to keep on trying to secure more business in a sector that has less market participants competing and bigger returns, at least for the time being. And also on the LNG, we have a vessel which we built, we signed the contract in 2004, took delivery in 2007. We have gone through the learning process of owning and operating an LNG vessel, and right now we are beginning to see the benefits and the returns that we expected when we went ahead with the business in 2004. So obviously there is going to be an expansion there. We're going to look at more opportunities because, as I said, these are the 2 most promising sectors right now.
You said in that earnings release you were talking to yards, charterers, other companies about how you can capitalize on your already existing presence in the sector. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, we have built a lot of vessels. I mean, the whole fleet of 50 tankers, which includes the 1 LNG vessel, has been built primarily with new building orders out of Korea and Japan. So we have great relationships with the shipyards in the Far East. So we think it's, quite easy between chartering the vessel and building the vessel. The building part we feel is a little bit more easy. We can go out and secure, let's say, 1 or more slots for delivery in 2015. Getting to have a charter at the same time you sign the contract is a little bit more difficult, but we are working on that. And even if at the end of the day we just build the vessel without having a contract in place, we feel that by the time we will take delivery of the vessel, give or take around 2015, we will have the vessel charter.
So you are looking to place an order for an LNG vessel?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are. And because as I said, we think this is a sector which the longer term prospects are much better than any other sector in the energy spectrum.
Would it be 1 vessel, multiple vessels? What are the early thoughts?
We are a conservative company, so I think we will try to play it as prudently as we possibly can. Option one, if we get the encouragement from the charterer side, maybe we can step up the order. But initially it's going to be option one most probably.
Talk to me a little bit about the shuttle tanker market and the prospects in Brazil.
Brazil, I mean, it's one of the few countries, non-OPEC producers that every year is bringing more capacity, more production online. And most of this, all of this new capacity is from oil fields that are far from the shore. They need a lot of infrastructure to bring the oil from the oil fields and from the rigs back to the shore. And that's why, I mean, the shuttle tanker and all the offshore peripheral, let's say, business plays and will continue to play a very big part in the expansion of the Brazilian economy and market.
You have 2 VLCCs held for sale. Where are you in the process of disposing of those vessels?
We have people who are looking at those vessels, either to take them for maybe a project like a storage, or in one of the offshore projects that they contemplate, because these are vessels of very high specification. The last European, one of the very last European-built VLCCs, they enjoyed a very good reputations while trading for our account, and therefore they are ideal candidates for someone who has an offshore project or a storage project. We are looking, we have people who are interested, but we have nothing to report as we speak.
Do you expect to dispose of more tonnage as time goes on?
depends on the appetite of people. I think we are one of the very few people who have been able to build the fleet without without buying expensive vessels, because we built the majority of the fleet around 2004, 2005 with options. So we did that before new building prices peaked. And so we have the luxury to still sell vessels if we want, to at levels that can guarantee us a capital gain. Fleet modernity is an integral part of our strategy. The average age of the fleet right now it's 7 years. So a vessel that approaches the 10-year anniversary could be a sale candidate if there is the right buyer out there and the right return for us. And of course, we always redeploy the proceeds of the sales back in the business, back in the market. Now, whether it's going to be in conventional tankers, whether it's going to be in shuttle or in LNG remains to be seen.
Are you going to continue paying a dividend?
The dividend is also a big part of our strategy. This is we have been paying consistently dividends since we moved the company in the New York Stock Exchange in 2002. My feeling is this is a board level decision, but for the time being, I think the dividend is secure. I don't think that there is a question whether we're going to cut the dividend or not. The only thing is, if we get a huge opportunity for further growth, you might see the board of directors deciding to maybe cut it a little bit to put it more in line with let's say the dividends of the rest of the peer group, because to this date we have one of the highest dividend yields in the industry, and it seems that not everybody appreciates this dividend yield. But again, just to go a step back, let me say that this is not a decision by management. This is a decision of the board of directors, and so far the board of directors, the decision is to continue paying 15 cents per quarter.